And I'll start with, now Senator Namo is not there, the Senate Majority Leader.
It's not loyal. Yeah, loyalty. We need to check his loyalty. Mr. Speaker, I thank you. Mr. Speaker, I want to appreciate the mediation committee, though I appreciate them as I complain. Senator Wakoli, you guys have taken inordinately long. And you must, I know it is not through the making of your own, because mediation exercises are normally difficult. I personally had to intervene by calling and almost even shouting at the chairperson from the National Assembly, who kept on making excuses, Mr. Speaker, as to why they were not available to debate and talk about this exercise, Mr. Speaker. I must register my appreciation to this team, Mr. Speaker, who have made it here, and assure Mr. Speaker that the effort is registered in the House this afternoon on the last day of the fourth session, that they sat with the colleagues from the National Assembly, hoggled over clauses, and eventually now, as we sit here today, we can say we have a mediated version of the bill. This bill has stayed in this House for over 2 years, Mr. Speaker, and our colleagues from the National Assembly have also taken a while to agree to some of the proposals that are in this bill. Be that as it may, Mr. Speaker, this bill is transformational. This is a consequential legislation. Just like we passed we passed the tea bill here in 2020, Mr. Speaker, and since then, farmers have continued to celebrate the industry of a legislative arm that listens to the pleas of farmers, Mr. Speaker. When we passed the tea bill here in 2020, Mr. Speaker, tea farmers, including those that you represent and those that many of my colleagues here represent, Mr. Speaker, would wait for their payment. For example, sometimes up to 20th. We had to put it in law, Mr. Speaker, that you cannot take tea from farmers and stay beyond the 5th of the following month without paying them, Mr. Speaker. We came here last year, and within 1.5 years of coming into this parliament, Mr. Speaker, we passed the sugar bill. As we see today, the sugar sector is better organized than what it was 2-3 years ago. I see a lot of activity. In fact, today, Mr. Speaker, if you go to my county, there's a center called Kapsoit. It is where sugarcane and tea farmers meet. Back in the day, it is the tea farmers who used to buy 1 round, if you understand what I mean, Mr. Speaker, to the sugarcane farmers. As it is today, because sugarcane farmers are now being paid weekly, we have mills that have roared back to life, Mr. Speaker. It is now the sugarcane farmers that are spoiling the town because of good things that have gone into their pocket. That is what we mean, Mr. Speaker, when we say bottom-up economic transformation, Mr. Speaker. I am happy, Mr. Speaker, because as we sit here today, we are discussing the mediated version of the coffee bill. I have said it times without number in this House, that many times, Mr. Speaker, the public rarely appreciates what government has done. Sometimes it takes them, it's not that they are not appreciative, but they rarely voice it actually, Mr. Speaker. But each time in the last 1 year that I have visited the coffee growing regions of my county, Kipkelion specifically, Mr. Speaker, and parts of Lower Ainamoi, many times, Senator Mungatana, when farmers rise to speak, they thank the president and they tell me, go and tell the president, we appreciate what has been done in the coffee sector. Remember, by the time of coming into office by 2022, many farmers were earning as low as 20 or 30 shillings, Mr. Speaker. Cartels had taken over. Farmers did not have even where to deliver their coffee. Many of the public and cooperative mills, Mr. Speaker, had closed shop because they could not meet their obligations. Many people had ventured into other ventures. Today, as we speak here, Mr. Speaker, one of the biggest requests that I received for support from young people from the parts of my county that grow coffee, Mr. Speaker, is to support them to set up a coffee farm, Mr. Speaker, because they are seeing that they are realizing better prices, there is better market for them, Mr. Speaker, and there is assured pay for them. We must appreciate what is being done in the rural economy of this country. That is why many of us were happy when the president spoke passionately about revving up our agriculture to ensure that we just don't have an agriculture that is rain-fed, Mr. Speaker, but we have more irrigation-based agricultural farms across our county, Mr. Speaker, so that we reduce on the issue of importation of food. Because if you reduce that, Mr. Speaker, it means that the money that we'll have otherwise have paid to import rice, to import sugar, to import maize, Mr. Speaker, to import dairy products, enriching farmers from other parts of the globe, Mr. Speaker, that money remains here in the country, powering up our rural economy, Mr. Speaker. That is what this bill is about. You know, many times, Mr. Speaker, people speak a lot of things in the social spaces where some of us spend and dwell most of our time in, Mr. Speaker, until we forget that 70 to 80% of the people that vote for us to come to this house are actually rural-based, Mr. Speaker. And that the biggest employer in this country is the agriculture subsector. Many people practice farming, Mr. Speaker, as a means and as a source of livelihood. Therefore, we cannot claim to be the House of Representatives, Mr. Speaker, if we don't speak to agriculture issues. This is the main reason why we exist, Mr. Speaker. Until the day we sort out all our farmers, including those that continue to complain, including dairy farmers, Mr. Speaker. The county that we represent in this house, the county of Bomet, is one of the leading dairy producers in this country. But you know that they continue to struggle with off-takers and they have to take their milk only all the way to Sotik, where the new KCC factory is. And you understand that since the transition, for example, of the former CEO, farmers have stayed for 2 to 3 months now without pay. This is the 4th month, Mr. Speaker. We must find a way, Mr. Speaker, until agriculture works, nothing else will work in this country, Mr. Speaker. Because it's the largest source of livelihood for many of our people. And we will ensure, Mr. Speaker, that we sort everybody, including the carrot farmers of Nyandarua, where Senator Methu comes from. Every form of agriculture must work, Mr. Speaker, so that our farmers can be proud, ply their trade. I have shared an experience that I had many years ago when I visited one of the states in the United States of America, Mr. Speaker. We were about to board a plane, and I saw a very interesting notice. They said, in this state, we queue without consideration to class, race, religion, or sexual orientation, except the military servicemen and women and the farmers that feed us in this state. And if you come and are able to demonstrate that you are one of the key farmers in that state, Mr. Speaker, you don't queue with the rest of others. Until we become a country that values farmers to that level, Mr. Speaker, we cannot claim to be a country that listens to the cries of its own people. There are many farmers, Mr. Speaker, who are still battling the issue of markets. And that's one of the key things that is being addressed in this bill for coffee farmers, to ensure that when they consolidate, Mr. Speaker, the issue of marketing and licensing was one of the key things that led us to mediation, Mr. Speaker. Because the National Assembly, the mode of licensing agreements they were proposing to our farmers was not going to work, Mr. Speaker. Because we didn't want a centralized licensing unit just here in Nairobi. Why should my people in Kipkelion come all the way to Nairobi, Senator Wakoli, to be licensed? And I must commend you guys in the Agriculture Committee who put your foot down and said agriculture is largely devolved. If we want to license our coffee farming units, Mr. Speaker, and the cooperatives, let it be done at the county level. And I am happy that sense eventually prevailed. I have seen the copy of the mediated version, that was the finally agreed upon position. That is the beauty of our constitution, Mr. Speaker, that it appreciates that there are 2 levels of government, and that is the beauty of this House of the Senate. That's why, Mr. Speaker, even if you gave me for free to be a member of the National Assembly, I will never take it. I am proud to be a senator, Mr. Speaker, because I know that the future of Kenya is devolution. If we protect devolution, if we ensure that it thrives, Mr. Speaker, the way this coffee bill does by empowering our cooperative unions, Mr. Speaker, you are actually securing the future of our republic. Therefore, I thank you, Senator Wakoli, and the Agriculture Committee that made all those amendments that, Mr. Speaker, scuttled the plant that the National has had actually on centralizing many of these proposals in this bill, Mr. Speaker, that you made them to realize and appreciate that there are 2 levels of government. that there is a county government and there is a national government, Mr. Speaker. And we cannot claim, Mr. Speaker, and turn a blind eye on the injustice that was about to be meted on the county governments, Mr. Speaker. That is what we proudly do in this House. Every afternoon from 2:30 to 6:30 when we meet, we speak, Senator Mtata, for the interest of the people that we represent in this House. And you must be proud of yourself as a senator. Anytime you stand up to the National Assembly and tell them, we are not about to get out of this town until the day it sinks into your heads that there are units of government called the county governments, which are equal, Mr. Speaker. They may not have as many resources as the national government has, but they are governments just like any other, Mr. Speaker. And we that have the power to legislate on their behalf must never derelict on duty, Mr. Speaker, and leave them to struggle the way sometimes we do. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, I appreciate what is being done to our coffee farmers. Mr. Speaker, I know that as we do this, Mr. Speaker, it is under the full realization that once we set up the licensing units, Mr. Speaker, and the board for them, it is my utmost hope, Mr. Speaker, that the levy that will be collected will be used actually to better the lives of the coffee farmers and not anybody else. We passed a sugar bill here, Mr. Speaker, and we didn't pay very close attention to the stratification that you did on how the sugar levy funds are going to be used. I hope Senator Wakoli, and perhaps this is more to Senator Mofaya, because the regulations will come from the ministry, Senator Mofaya Gataya, that they will pay a keen attention to ensure that 70 to 80% of these funds that are collected go back actually, one, to research, two, to establish better markets for our coffee, and three, to provide seed for our coffee farmers so that we have as many people plant, Mr. Speaker, and earn from this trade as is possible. You remember, Mr. Speaker, that we are actually on the race to 15 billion trees. The national rallying call that the President has given us, the target to achieve by 2032, I believe, Mr. Speaker. Planting more coffee seedlings, like is being proposed here, Mr. Speaker, is one of the ways, because coffee bushes, Mr. Speaker, are just forests like any other, Mr. Speaker. Therefore, there are many reasons to support our coffee farmers and be appreciative of what this bill has done. The only thing that breaks my heart, Mr. Speaker, is that we made a request yesterday, Senator Mungatang, to our colleagues to hang around to ensure that we conclude on this business. But they have deserted us, including people who represent coffee farmers, who you'll find in funerals, Mr. Speaker, claiming how the government has done nothing, as if William Ruto is supposed to come to this House and pass the laws, Mr. Speaker. You know, we must be serious, Mr. Speaker, on how we take our duties also. How can it be that when this mediated version was completed on Tuesday, because that is when these two committees agreed, National Assembly were able to table theirs that same afternoon. I tried to get Senator Wakoli to table ours that afternoon, but you were told, I don't know, the clerk who was responsible had disappeared where. This is feedback for you, Chania, and the clerk's table. Why is it that those in the National Assembly were able to conclude and table theirs the same afternoon? Ours, we had to wait until yesterday. And you know, we had an impeachment motion, and therefore we couldn't table. By yesterday afternoon, colleagues from the Assembly concluded on this business. Now they will be proudly walking around in the village in Meru and telling you, Senator Kaduri, that they have done their part. It is this Senate that is delayed.